This week on the Wildcat Report, the election hits Millard West. Guts Week commences for the basketball team. A Millard West student spends her time caring for homeless animals, a basketball player and the struggles she faces, and this week's Sports Corner with JD Wessel.
Good morning, Wildcats. I'm Corey Hadfield.
And I'm Emmy Seaton, and this is the Wildcat Report.
Today's Veterans Day, so don't forget to go out and thank a man or woman who has served in our U.S. military.
As you know by now, Donald Trump is going to be the 45th President of the United States. Gabby and Sarah checked out the polling place at Millard West and how the election went.
Every 4 years, ballots are distributed to voters who elect national and local officials. Throughout the day, hundreds of people entered Millard West High School on Tuesday, November 8th to cast their vote. The polls opened promptly at 8 a.m. when school began and closed at 8 p.m. The voting process required Millard West to tend to the Douglas County Election Commission.
We give them information as far as they tell us how many parking spaces they'll need. They'll give us about how much square footage they'll need. They'll ask for things like restrooms, kind of facilities and things like that to go along with it.
Some citizens were nervous about this particular election due to the close polls and controversial candidates.
This year it was very stressful. Yes, it was kind of hard to choose a candidate.
People from the voting district made it a priority to fill in their ballot, even if it meant an alteration in their schedule.
I have to get into work after this, so I wish that I had a little bit more time. I wish the polls would have opened a little bit earlier. This was last minute. I've got 2 kids at home and my wife, and this was the best time for me to vote.
18-year-olds at Millard West were eligible to vote this year. Election Day excited one in particular, as it was her first opportunity to contribute her voice.
My parents have been saying ever since I was little that it is important to vote. My parents, every year they go out to whatever the elections are, they always are doing that.
Posters scattered around the parking lot brought attention to possible congressmen, board members, and other government representatives. However stressful the day may have been for some, it was still appreciated by many.
It gives us a voice in the election. It gives us a right to choose gives us a right to choose to have a choice in our future.
Despite the opposing political viewpoints that surface on Election Day, it is a day that unites voters as they come together to make a choice that will impact the nation.
This election will definitely be one for the books.
I agree. Many people stayed up to the early morning hours to watch it.
Other people that will be up early in the morning this week are the basketball team. This week is Guts Week.
With the basketball season fastly approaching, the boys team spends a week of practice, endurance, and training to get ready for the season. This week is called Guts Week. Guts Week's practices are Tuesday through Friday from 6:30 to 7:15. It is filled with specifically running and cardio workouts and no actual basketball skills.
It kind of gets you prepared for the season. It's kind of both. It tries to get you in shape for the season.
Guts Week stands for Give 100%, Understand Your Role, Trust in Your Abilities, and Support Your Teammates.
To show that you have guts and you want to play basketball and that you care about it.
Guts Week is so hard that the gym they practice in has 2 trash cans just in case someone needs to throw up. Although there is a lot of running and conditioning, it brings the team closer and prepares them for the season.
Wanted to get the guys ready to go, and we know that it takes more than a good jump shot to be a good basketball team.
The boys have been working hard for what they want the most, a state championship. This has been Lyndsay Hunter and Tess Ray with the Wildcat Report.
With returning starters such as Shea Wyatt and Colby Gomez, the basketball team will be dedicating their time this year to making state.
Another student at Millard West dedicates her time to a furry cause.
It's one thing to volunteer for credit, but it's another to volunteer for love. Grace Macleod loves spending time volunteering at the Humane Society.
I'm a camp counselor at the Humane Society's Camp Kindness, and we just are really focused on helping kids, and we like to have them have experiences with animals.
Grace's mom played a huge role in Grace starting her volunteer work.
There was one summer when Grace needed some things to do, so we started looking at volunteer opportunities, and she loves animals, so it was a natural fit.
Since Grace started volunteering here, there are lots of responsibilities that come with it.
So we have 80-ish kids a week, and we have a morning and an afternoon group, and we do a lot of activities with the animals, and they get to make treats, and they get to do a bunch of different things with them.
Grace is one of the nicest people I know, so she's always happy to help, so this is a good job for her.
Grace is happy she got involved with the Humane Society.
I like working with animals because I love animals personally, but I also love to see the reactions of the other kids' face. And throughout the week I can see animals that aren't as socialized that become a lot better from the kids working with them.
With Grace's time at the Humane Society, she has realized volunteering can bring a great reward. This has been Emily Turing and Megan Stevens with the Wildcat Report.
Thanks, Emily and Megan, for taking the time out of your day to go visit with the animals at the Humane Society. Remember, all animals featured in the video are up for adoption.
A girl on the basketball team struggles on the court, but not with the game. Natalie and Ellie discover more.
Many high school students have dedicated countless hours to sports and activities. For three-season athlete, sophomore Shleby Bergholz, the hard work never ends. With golf in the fall, basketball in the winter, and track in the spring, her schedule has always been full. And as the time for girls basketball comes near, conditioning has begun and the Wildcats are starting off the season.
Shleby, she's a great kid. She's one that you wish you could duplicate, I think. She's just a hard worker. She's someone that you never have to tell to do something more than once.
For her 10th year in a row, Shleby has been playing basketball. After being on the freshman team last year, she hopes to join varsity for her sophomore season. Although her nerves have built up for tryouts, her mind has been drawn to something else.
I have paradoxial laryngeal spasms.
For the past few years, Shleby has struggled through her condition that was unknown until last spring.
During the spasms, my airways close instead of opening, so when I work out, normal people's airways open up, allowing more air to go in. But when I work out, my airways close all the way, where I'm allowing little to no oxygen flow through my body.
Not only has her family been beside her through every step, but many of her supporters include her closest friends. Of these supporters is sophomore Sydney Miller, who has been there since the beginning.
I felt bad for her. I wanted to change places with her because I know how much she loves sports.
This condition, affecting her present and future sports career, is something that will be in her life forever. Continuing to do what she loves, Shleby has always been sure to put her positivity first. With her friends, family, and coaches, she knows that she will never be alone.
Shelby's my best friend, and I'll always have her back, and I always keep her positive.
Even though I have this condition, that won't stop me from reaching my goals.
This has been Natalie and Ellie with the Wildcat Report.
State football may be over, but state volleyball is just starting up.
We go to this week's Sports Corner with JD.
Hello folks, JD Wessel here with this week's Sports Corner. First off, we have football. They were defeated by the Bellevue West Thunderbirds 63-42 in an offensive battle. Jalen Bradley for Bellevue West, their running back, just beat the single game Class A rushing record, having 496 yards with 7 touchdowns. The Wildcats, obviously being defeated, moved to 8-3 as the season wrapped up for them, but Bellevue West, they are currently undefeated as they head in to take on Creighton Prep in this week's semifinal matchup. Let's see a quick interview and we'll be back soon.
It was a fun season. I think we had a pretty good team, but that team that we played was better than us.
Jalen Bradley is in. Touchdown, Thunderbirds. Blocking. It looks like he is off to the races. Touchdown, Jalen Bradley. Jalen Bradley's got room. Touchdown, Jalen Bradley. Ahead of him, Jalen Bradley is going to score it. It's a 3-touchdown game. This kid is the real deal. Bradley is going to take it, and he's in for the touchdown. That is the 40.
Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Something the Wildcats defense had to go through pretty much drive by drive on this night. Bellevue West going off for 63 total points as a team, but I think really the biggest factor for Bellevue West had to be Jalen Bradley. He rushed for 496 yards on the ground with 7 touchdowns, beating a Class A state rushing record for a single game. He completely lit up the Wildcats defense, but also Joe Dolanchek hooking up with Silvo Johnson there. And then a more amazing play we saw just before half that really changed the tide of this game. The momentum was shifted after just one given play right here. Take a look, Joe Dolanchek out of shotgun, pass on over to the receiver, tipped to Silvo Johnson. Silvo jumping his receiver and running it for a touchdown, giving Bellevue West a 2-touchdown lead going into half. But Brody Belt knew he'd have to answer back here for the Wildcats early in the game, knowing Bellevue West's offense is so good, and that is just what he does here, running that one for just about 60 to 70 yards for the touchdown, helping out the Wildcats. But there were a lot more factors in this game than just Brody Belt. Shea Wyatt being one of them, using this speed. Take a look, pretty much out-hustling every single defender on that field on the kickoff, and the kicker diving, just missing Shea Wyatt. But take a look here, the Wildcats going to the air here against Bellevue West, making them pass. Bellevue West said they'd do this. Touchdown there to Hunter Shirley on the last play. But then take a look at Giovanni Guido cutting corners like he usually does here, running through 1 defender, 2, over 3 defenders there for the touchdown, giving the Wildcats a closer trailing distance. But I don't know if it was enough here, and it definitely wasn't. Giovanni Guido, though, later in the game to Austin Harris, and the Wildcats fall short this season. Better luck next year to the Wildcats. Great season. Got to tip the cap to them. They always perform very well, and this season they just fell short to a good Bellevue West team. Congrats to the Wildcats. And in volleyball news, the District A5 champion Millard West Wildcats take on Millard North. Heading into the state tournament, the Wildcats are previously 2-2 against Millard North, and the game will be held at 5:30 tonight at the Pinnacle Bank Arena. And we talked to Jordan McCormick, the sophomore, on her thoughts going into the biggest tournament of the year, and let's see what she had to say.
Stay strong and keep motivated.
That is all we have for Sports Corner this week. I'll keep it short and simple with you guys. This has been JD Wessel. Have a great night, Wildcats.
Thanks for joining us, Wildcats. Join us next time on Wednesday, November 23rd, before Thanksgiving break for a special report. I'm Emmy Seaton.
And I'm Corey Hadfield, and this is the Wildcat Report. Have a great day, Wildcats.
Gobble, gobble.